everybody, it's Chelsea. I'm a Commonwealth Corps service member with the Westport River Watershed Alliance, and today we're going to be talking all about plankton. Plankton are living things that all share a common trait, which is they drift along wherever the water will carry them. There are many different varieties of plankton, but the two main categories are phytoplankton and zooplankton. Phytoplankton are plant-like, zooplankton are animals. Phytoplankton float close to the water's surface. It's where they have the best access to sunlight. They take part in a process called photosynthesis, where they convert the sun's light into energy. They also produce a lot of oxygen. Anywhere from 50 to 80% of the Earth's oxygen supply is said to come from phytoplankton, which makes them one of the leading producers of oxygen on the planet. Zooplankton, again, are animals. They can stay plankton throughout their entire life cycle, or they're plankton just at the very beginning of their life cycle, and then they can grow up to be able to more freely swim against the current. They vary drastically in shapes and sizes. They can be microscopic, like a copepod, or they can be up to 6 feet long, like a lion's mane jelly. So the best time to catch plankton is in the spring and fall months. That's when the temperature of the water is changing the most. When there's a change in temperature in the water, there's also a change in density. This causes upwelling, which makes different levels of the water rise and fall. So when there are key nutrients at the bottom of the water that phytoplankton need to grow, those are then brought to the top where they're floating around. And this causes a bloom in phytoplankton. And because plankton are such a key part of their ecosystem, more phytoplankton means more food for zooplankton, who then in turn become food for larger marine animals. So to catch plankton, you're going to need a net with a very fine mesh. It's going to have holes that are small enough to contain the plankton, but large enough to let the water pass through. So we're going to throw this in and see what we can catch. It also funnels the water all the way down here to the bottle. So we're going to take this back to our river center, put it under the microscope, and see if we can identify some plankton that live here in our Westport River. So we've taken our samples back to our river center, and we're going to put them under the microscope and see which ones we can identify. Here you can see lots of phytoplankton. They have that goldish color versus something like this, which is a little piece of seaweed. It has a reddish color. Phytoplankton get their goldish color from chlorophyll, which is part of their photosynthesis process. Here you can see some zooplankton worms. So here is another kind of worm. It's more of a flat worm. We are going to see what other kinds of plankton we can find and put their scientific names up on the screen. So you can see some phytoplankton and zooplankton here. The phytoplankton have a very clear shape, so that one with the circle right in the middle there, that's what we call a soda can. It's got a very distinctive top that makes it look like a soda can, and you can also kind of see right here that it's sort of tilting on its side. So here you can see a copepod. It's a zooplankton. It's known for its helmet-shaped head, and it has 2 antennae that are coming out from the top of its head. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned a little bit about the smallest inhabitants of our Westport River. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and you can stay updated on all the videos that we're sharing with you guys.